Hello everybody, today is December 14th, 2023. I would like to use this video to address all my Christian brothers and sisters. If you've noticed on my channel in the recent past, I've addressed Islam brothers and sisters, Judaism, Jewish brothers and sisters, and ultimately I will be addressing all religions. What is important to realize is that I am not judging anybody. I have no right. I truly feel love for every single person. And the reason why is because I finally found love within myself. The way I found love within myself was almost a year ago now. For the first time in my existence, I learned how to give true grace to somebody that needed it the most. When that happened, I decided, I didn't really even decide. I just woke up and I knew. The next morning, I knew with my entire being what I needed to do. I knew that I needed to fully wake up. I needed to fully purge all the negative out of my brain, and if you will, gain consciousness. Now, for the Christians that are watching this video, you might think that consciousness goes against Christianity. By no means does consciousness go against really any religion. Consciousness basically just allows you to bypass all the negative that's in your brain, find all the positive within the negative, and then become one between you and your God, your Creator. For me, I see it as becoming one and knowing the truths with I am that I am. When Moses was standing at the burning bush and looks up and asks, "What do we call you?" That was the answer given. There was not many additional answers given at that point. Now, you might think that consciousness could be considered as anti-Christ. Actually, that couldn't be further from the truth. If you will simply Google 100 verses that talk about waking up within the Bible, you'll be amazed. Why do you think Jesus talked about meditation? Why do you think Jesus went by himself into the woods to pray? Now, one thing that a lot of Christians base their faith off of is the King James Version of the Old Testament and the New Testament. Now realize the King James Version of the Old Testament does not include the book of Matthew. But yet the King James Version of the New Testament, book of Matthew, is the first that Jesus keeps talking about. And actually, it's one of the most prominent, if not the most prominent, that Jesus keeps referring to. Now realize the book of Matthew was written, it's figured about 70 years after Jesus' death, or Esau's death, or Yeshua's death, or Son of Man's death. Whatever you choose to fill the name is. Myself personally, I choose to use the name Son of Man. There's a reason why he referred to himself mainly as Son of Man. And I ask you to please listen to Jesus' words. Don't take my word for it. Don't take any human's word for it. Don't take a religion's word for it. Go to Jesus' words very specifically and listen to every single word that he spoke. Because once you become conscious, once you wake up, once you start finding your truths, you realize exactly why Jesus spoke within riddles. And you do not need to listen to all the other words. You need to listen to Jesus' words very specifically, because they're all worded exactly how they should be. All religions started off as an oral tradition. Therefore, if you listen to the words of Jesus through an audiobook of even the New Testament or whatever version of the Bible you choose to listen to from whatever religion, I know that the truths from Jesus, Isa, Yeshua, whatever you choose to call it, even Nirvana, the truths will come through. A non-conscious human cannot prevent from telling the truths from within. They can try to mislead, but there's still a large portion of truth that comes through. Similar to, for every joke, there's a certain percentage of truth, otherwise it wouldn't be funny. Every movie in your memory, there's a certain percentage of truth, otherwise you wouldn't watch it. You wouldn't be entertained by it. So I ask you to please do yourself a favor and realize there's a huge reason why Jesus in the book of Matthew in the New Testament is the most prominent. Look at how Jesus keeps referring back to parts of the Old Testament. It's actually really easy to understand. And I know without a doubt that all of it was written for us right now. Now you might think that, oh, I'm delusional or whatever. Well, I assure you I'm not. Well, no more than Jesus was delusional. No more than Einstein was delusional. And because of what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do, and trying to simply get everybody in the world to wake up so that you can decide your truths before it's too late, on a regular basis, I check in on myself. I have had basically a EQ assessment done on me. I have had an IQ assessment. By the way, my EQ assessment is 111. For those of you that don't know what an EQ is, it's your emotional intelligence in essence. And my IQ has recently been tested at 185. I don't say this out of bragging. I just say this as a way to simply get you to understand that you might want to start listening and start waking up. It's getting close to a year that I have been doing everything I possibly can to become the absolute best human I can within this existence. I am not doing this to try to scare anybody. I am not doing this to try to cause disorder. I am not doing this trying to gain a following. I am simply doing this out of love. If I truly love myself, and yes, I do, because I know that I have the Holy Spirit within myself, then that requires me to love everybody else. And if I don't, then I must be feeling sorry for myself. Therefore, I don't love myself. So I ask you to please just simply look up 100 Bible verses about waking up or about wake up. Then research the book of Matthew. See who it was written by. See that it was written 70 years after Jesus' death, after Son of Man's death, after Esau's death, after Yahshua's death. And do not allow a church to simply tell you what to believe. I know with my whole entire being, you have everything you need to find the truths within yourself. And the words of Son of Man are exactly how to wake up and exactly how to find your God within you. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.